Edmonton Ellerslie.
Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the work that the government has done to rein in spending at agencies, boards and commissions, while at the same time ensuring that compensation is fair and appropriate. I was pleased to see the Minister of Advanced Education's announcement last week of a plan to bring executive compensation at our universities and colleges in line with other jurisdictions in Canada. To the Minister of Advanced Education, how will this affect post-secondary institutions?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I just want to take the opportunity to remind the member that it was the Minister of Finance and Treasury Board and me who made that announcement jointly. Our university and colleges presidents do critical work, but for too long their compensation packages were out of touch with the expectations of Albertans. Post-secondary compensation in Alberta was the highest in the country, and these changes will finally bring these salaries into line with those in the rest of Canada. This saving will mean more money in our classrooms and for our students, Mr. Speaker.
First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, before my role in the House, I represented staff at the U of A, and I remember all too well the impacts of cuts made by the previous government. Given that students and staff at the university have been standing together to protest across-the-board cuts and major fee hikes proposed by the U of A budget, to the same minister, can you update the House on what action you have taken to address this?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's no secret that universities and colleges across the province are still trying to recover from brutal cuts that the Conservative government imposed on them a few years ago. Unlike the Conservatives, of course, our government believes that all Albertans deserve an affordable higher education. That's why we've increased funding to all institutions by 2%, as well as provided backfill funding for the compensation of the tuition freeze. We expect that institutions will allocate these funds responsibly and prioritize the education of their students and support for staff and faculty, and will continue to work with the university to make sure that that happens.
Second supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, students need predictability when they are planning for the cost of their degrees. To the same minister, what actions are you planning to address tuition, especially international student tuition?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The member hits the nail on the head when he talks about predictability, and I'm very pleased to say that under our government, that's exactly what students have been receiving. As part of Budget 2018, we're again providing another year of frozen tuition. That's 4 years of affordable higher education under our government. Finances should never be a barrier for anyone who wants to get an education, and that's true no matter where you're from. We're not going to balance the budget on the backs of students. We're going to ensure that all students get an affordable, accessible higher education that they deserve, and that includes international students as well.